Okay, Star Trek Into Darkness, or Star Trek 2, the second part of the J.J. Abrams pseudo reboot. This movie, I wish I could have seen it in 3D. You know, lots of great effects, lots of chase scenes, lots of scenes in space. And this movie is, I'll use the term paced very relentlessly. Pretty much from what ends up being like your opening chase sequence, where you've got Kirk and Bones are running through this beautiful, bright, vibrant red forest, being chased by stark white primitives in bright yellow clothing. It is an undeniable assault on the visual sense as they're running, as they're getting spears thrown at them. All because they were there to observe, realized they had a volcano erupting, and thought if they could stop the volcano, they could save all their lives. Doing so is a direct violation of just the observe other planets and other life forms. That then, of course, leads to Kirk losing his ship. Throughout the movie, then all of a sudden that's when they throw in who essentially ends up being the anti-hero, hero, terrorist, hero, villain in the movie. If you've seen the trailers, you pretty much know exactly who he is and what he looks like. His background is done tremendously well. He is easily one of the best interpretations of this style of very, very obsessive, very intellectual, very brutal, very savage, ridiculously cunning. The fact that he embodies everything from Spock from the logical side and every bit of brutality you expect from a Klingon. And it's this perfect melding. And of course, after he does the massive attack, there is the hunt for him. And then there is the background of him. Very, very well done. This movie, I have to say, it had that great feeling that you thought people could die. You thought main characters were not going to survive. Which is weird in a franchise-based film. Again, if you saw the first one, characterizations are just great. Everyone in the three ensemble, whether it's Sulu, whether it's Bones, whether it's Scotty, whether it's Kirk, Spock, Uhura, even the random red shirts, Chekhov, they all do a really solid job. The acting is spot on. It's a non-stop movie at 2 hours, at shade over 2 hours. It almost never slows down. This is a constantly moving film, which makes it work beautifully for a summer blockbuster. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to go into some of the spoilers. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here are your spoilers. If you saw Star Trek The Wrath of Khan, lots of things are heavily borrowed from this movie, which is great because The Wrath of Khan is an amazing Star Trek movie. So even though his name is John Harrison, he's actually Khan. Yes, what you're watching is the actual birth of the use of Khan in the Abrams Star Trek universe. And Spock does call old Spock. So Quinto does call Nimoy and pretty much kind of goes, what do you know of a guy named Khan? And after Nimoy's like, I really can't tell you much about it, I don't want to help you, I don't want to affect anything. However, he's an amazing adversary. You will defeat him, but it will cost you greatly. If you saw the Wrath of Khan, you do kind of know that Spock locks himself inside the warp core to help the Enterprise get going and kills himself. Which is what then leads to the search for Spock, where it's going to like Vulcan heaven. In this one, Kirk is the one inside the warp core who dies. However, they have a MacGuffin. The blood of Khan is super magical, we'll just say that. He's got super blood. They use his blood to bring a triple back from the dead, and then they realize that, okay, even though he's on Earth, and he's currently in a non-stop battle with Spock, we need to knock him unconscious, bring him back, take his blood, synthesize the part of blood that's the most active, and then give it to Kirk to bring Kirk back to life.